Elementary after that deadly shooting just over 2 weeks ago.
Plus, a fire destroying a local business overnight. We have the latest from that scene.
We are searching for any kind of pattern change. There's a little bit of a shift next week. We'll tell you what that means for the forecast coming up.
Live from KSAT 12, the news at noon starts right now.
Many questions remain on that future of Robb Elementary after that deadly shooting just over a couple of weeks ago.
The superintendent gave us a couple of updates on the future of the school and on school security moving forward, but he dodged questions related to the status of Campus Police Chief Jose Arredondo.
Camelia Juarez has the latest from the press conference.
Dave, Ursula, it is clear that the school district is still working to answer many questions. But what we do know is that law enforcement will be posted at all of the campuses for summer school, but it's unclear which agency will be patrolling. And it is the goal of the district to hire more campus officers, but it's unclear how many will be hired, when they will be hired, and if the district has it in their budget. Currently, the district has 6 campus officers, including Chief Jose Arredondo. And when asked about the future of Chief Arredondo's employment with the district, Superintendent Dr. Harrell declined to answer those questions and also refused to speak about whether or not doors were locked at Robb Elementary before the shooting. The district did say they are working with an outside agency for school security in the future. Robb Elementary will no longer be used as a school campus, and Superintendent Dr. Harrell said its future would be put up to community discussion.
I will continue weekly updates. We recognize our families and staff have questions that we do not have answers to yet. But beginning next week, I will provide weekly updates to share information with our students, parents, staff, and our community in similar fashion as we have done through the course of this past year.
Now, for the next school year, Dalton Elementary will serve students from pre-K to 2nd grade, and the Torres campus will be home to students from 3rd to 6th, and the district is still deciding when to hold high school graduation. We'll keep you posted as we learn more about the investigation, as well as school safety for Uvalde CISD campuses.
Thank you, Camelia. This morning at the state capitol in Austin, the Texas House began hearings with their investigative committee on the Robb Elementary School shooting in Uvalde. Governor Greg Abbott appointed House Speaker Dade Phelan to lead that committee.
The committee has the power to issue subpoenas. It can conduct depositions and initiate discovery. Phelan said that it is an outrage that they still don't have an accurate picture of what happened in Uvalde. He says they get new information every day, but it conflicts with previous information, and the committee has a duty to the victims and to the community to get the answers.
Failing to tackle these issues because they're difficult or politically uncomfortable is cowardly and morally wrong. We have a duty to do what we can because our children's lives are on the line. That's why this committee is so important.
The committee moved into a closed-door executive session this morning. 7 additional House members have been appointed to the Select Committee on Youth Health and Safety, 6 of whom represent cities that have experienced mass shootings in recent years.
What used to be a sign shop on the near west side now in ruins due to an early morning fire.
The flames and smoke broke out around 4 this morning, then broke through the roof of the building in the 1300 block of Creperie Road.
Katrina Weber reports the fire also threatened some other buildings nearby.
You didn't have to be in the 1300 block of Creperie Road to notice the glowing orange flames. The fireball that erupted from a sign shop there around 4 this morning could be seen from blocks away.
It was pretty bad. I was really worried about my place.
Eric Hernandez had noticed as he headed to his own shop 2 doors down. He feared the worst when it came to his property.
I have a couple of cars in there and whatnot, and, some other stuff that I store there and whatnot. I was sort of worried about it. But thankfully, like I said, thank God it didn't. Nothing happened.
It's also thanks to the work of San Antonio firefighters who spent several hours repeatedly putting out flames that just didn't seem to want to die.
We were attacking it from both ends, from the front and from the back. and it was just difficult to get into the attic spaces.
Firefighters say the construction of the building with a double-layered roof made it tough to reach the flames that burned in between. At one point, with fire through the roof, crews were in a race against time, trying to keep it from spreading. The neighboring businesses weren't the only concern for firefighters. They say there are some homes behind the sign shop. Now, the flames got within about 10 feet of those homes, but they say no one had to evacuate. No one was hurt either. The sign shop was closed at the time. And based on the damage done to the building, it may be a while before it opens again. Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
The city of San Antonio has agreed to settle a lawsuit with the family of Jesse Aguirre, who died in police custody back in 2013. City Council approved a $466,000 settlement today, ending the 7-year court battle, which had been on the verge of going to trial. Officers found Aguirre walking on Highway 90 in April of 2013 after a crash. They handcuffed him and then held him down, and after several minutes noticed he was not breathing. Resuscitation efforts were unsuccessful, and he was later determined to have died from association with cocaine and ethanol intoxication. Aguirre's family sued on a violation of his civil rights and accused officers of suffocating him. While the city is no longer a party in the lawsuit, it was representing the officers named in the suit. The city attorney said he did not believe any of the officers were disciplined.
Turning to something that's going to put a smile on your face, family and friends welcoming home the National Spelling Bee winner from San Antonio, Harini Logan. The 14-year-old arrived back home this week, was greeted by Mayor Ron Nuremberg and the San Antonio community.
Harini says it took years of preparation, and she couldn't have done it without the support of her loved ones. Tiffany Huertas shares her story with us.
Surreal. That's the word spelling bee queen Harini Logan says best describes this moment.
I think it's just so unreal to be, the winner and to come back home to this. I'm just really happy, and I feel very grateful to have everybody.
Family, friends, and the San Antonio community came out to welcome Harini home at the San Antonio International Airport Tuesday night.
I'm very proud to be representing my hometown at the national level.
The 14-year-old was crowned champion of the 2022 Scripps National Spelling Bee on June 2nd.
Moorhan.
Moorhan. I've been working towards the bee for almost 6 to 7 years, and since I was in first or second grade.
Harini says the support from her community and loved ones helped her get here.
I believe it takes a village to raise a champion. Here's my village.
Harini won a little over $50,000 in cash and prizes. She wants to save money for college, invest in the stock market, and give back.
And I also really want to be an advocate for literacy and help give back to the spelling bee community and the community of San Antonio.
Harini has advice for kids who are interested in competing in the bee.
It does take commitment, and I really think commitment, being able to work hard and do whatever, give your best and be proud of yourself for doing that, I think is really important, and by doing those things you can definitely achieve your dreams.
By the way, that was Tiffany Huertas, and you saw Harini with a trophy in the airport. That was the one she got from Kelly and Ryan when she beat them in a spelling bee the other day, and then the one she got at the spelling bee, that championship. That was the big one with all the confetti in it. She has been accepted to St. Mary's Hall, by the way. She's received a full ride scholarship. She's excited for her new journey. She wants to give back and provide opportunities for students who would like to participate in the spelling bee.
I think KSAT needs to hire her now.
Probably use her.
She's awesome. Still ahead on the news at noon, record heat. It's here to stay. But our energy grid, is it prepared to handle all this demand? We're going to hear from CPS Energy officials just ahead.
And the stats say Boston is in great shape after last night's win over the Warriors. We got the highlights coming up.
But first, we have the latest on a man who the FBI says was plotting to kill a Supreme Court justice. Details next.
The FBI raided the California home of 26-year-old man charged with plotting to murder Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh on Wednesday.
He was outside of Kavanaugh's Maryland home. He was armed with a gun and a knife and enough equipment for a kidnapping. CNN's Whitney Wild with why the Capitol is now on heightened alert.
A California man is in custody this morning after he told police he wanted to kill a Supreme Court justice and then kill himself. He said to give his life purpose. Upset over the leak of a draft ruling overturning Roe v. Wade, the mass shooting in Uvalde, Texas, and the possibility that the court could loosen gun laws, authorities say the man went to Justice Brett Kavanaugh's home with a gun, zip ties, and other tools. But after seeing 2 deputy U.S. Marshals outside, he called 911 on himself.
This kind of behavior is behavior that we will not tolerate. Threats of violence and actual violence against the justices, of course, strike at the heart of our democracy.
Attorney General Merrick Garland and law enforcement vowing to ramp up security in the nation's capital as the January 6th hearings are set to begin tonight in prime time, and Washington gears up for a potentially volatile June. That's when major Supreme Court decisions, large-scale protests, and more tours at the Capitol will converge in an already heightened threat environment.
There's, I think, a lot of vitriol.
Capitol Police Chief Tom Manger is ramping up security while D.C. police are activating their riot cops throughout the month. These moves come as the Department of Homeland Security warns of the possibility of a violent summer and fall fueled by conspiracy theories and extremist ideologies.
No justice, no peace!
A major concern, the pending abortion ruling. Intelligence analysts warn of potential threats toward lawmakers, Supreme Court justices, abortion providers, and religious groups. The threats coming from both sides of the abortion debate.
I am worried about the violence. I'm worried about the lone actor coming in and doing something dangerous.
We will not go back!
Protests related to abortion and gun laws could bring thousands of people to Washington just as the highly anticipated public hearings into the January 6th insurrection begin. And more visitors are expected to flow into the Capitol after a 2-year COVID-related closure. Sources say Capitol Police are now adding overtime shifts.
The focus is really on what the protests that are going on at the court, the protests that are going on at the homes of the justices. I understand that the tension could very quickly turn to the Capitol.
That tension already surfacing on social media and captured by intelligence analysts from D.C.'s Homeland Security Agency.
This is occurring almost on a daily basis in terms of any types of threats. The posts that concern us the most are threats against individuals or specific places.
Intelligence analysts have flagged roughly a dozen threats as credible enough to be investigated further.
We're seeing threats from all parts of the political spectrum.
Outside with live cam, we had some clouds. They're still hanging around. Look at all the clouds, keeping the temperature down below 90.
Well, at least we've got some shade here and there.
A little bit of shade, a little bit of natural shade. We will take it. I have a feeling that this may keep us below 100 degrees this afternoon, which would be nice, I suppose, considering where we have been last several days. The aquifer, though, it's still in bad shape, down 1.4 feet. 638.1 is the level today. And it is falling quickly. That 10-day average is falling quickly as well. Molds are in a low category, 250. We'll talk about the heat and what happens next week. Maybe a few changes. That forecast is coming up.
We have more than enough energy to meet the needs of our community.
That is the message from CPS Energy officials who say we can weather the weather. This despite the fact that Texas could set a new record for energy demand this week.
With the triple-digit temperatures forecast around the state, Texas is expected to pass its peak demand set back in August of 2019. CPS Energy says they're ready for the challenge, given they've already passed one test this week.
On Monday, San Antonio's energy demand level was actually higher than it ever was before. Officials say they had no reported outages, though, and all the generation units held up as expected.
And crews are checking heat removal systems to keep units cool. But for now, CPS says that there is enough energy to go around.
I'll never tell you there's not concern because, frankly, I have concerns. Because I know that at the end of the day, I've got some units that are 50 years old. And we've got good maintenance programs in place, but things can break down.
The company says if that happens, they have reserve energy and they can also purchase if needed. ERCOT says that the project sufficient to project sufficient generation in order to meet demand.
So you can only imagine that not reaching 100 degrees and 102 and 104 for a couple of days in a row might help a little.
All I know is my house really won't cool down at night.
It's
with
tough.
these kind of temperatures.
It's tough, and I feel for those people. This is the time of year where your AC unit may break down, that capacitor or whatever fails, and boy, it's tough. You got to get the maintenance folks out there pretty quick because with this kind of heat, your house heats up very quickly. And also, we've got the drought to contend with. The drought monitor came in today. This is the latest version of it. And it's, as you might imagine, not great news. This week, we're at 79% of the state is in drought. Last week, it was 78%, so we're up just a little bit. But around our area, it seems to be getting worse. So this maroon color you see here represents exceptional drought. That's the worst that it gets. Kerrville, Bandera, Hondo, Uvalde, Lakeview, Rock Springs, Pleasanton, Floresville, Karnes City, even southern parts of Bexar County within the exceptional risk or exceptional drought, and most of the area within the extreme drought. So it's bad out there, and these heat highs that we see over top of us, they tend to build on themselves, and that could mean more prolonged droughts. We have to prepare for that. Medina Lake is only 16% full. It's down 60 feet. It's down 12 feet just in the last 3 months. High temperatures yesterday, we did make it up to 101. That tied a record. A lot of places in the triple digits yesterday. I do think temperatures will be slightly cooler today, but one issue that we're dealing with is got some added humidity, so it is sort of a trade-off. We've got heat indices to deal with, and I should point out that with yesterday's high temperatures, we now have 9 days where we've hit 100 degrees or more here in San Antonio, well on our way to those records where we had close to 60 days of 100-degree weather back in 2009. Here's the time lapse. And we had the morning clouds, and they stuck around for a while, and that really has helped us. And yeah, those clouds are starting to scatter out, but they're still there. And that'll keep temperatures down just a little bit. We're at 88 degrees technically at the airport right now. Southerly winds at 10 miles per hour. Dew point is at 68. Makes it feel like 92. Makes it feel like 91 in Converse. Makes it feel like 92 in New Braunfels. Stinson's heat index is up to 95. And as we look at the satellite picture here, yeah, the clouds are hanging around. And every little bit helps. So if we can get these clouds to stick around a little bit longer, I think that probably keeps us under that 100-degree mark. Frontal boundary off to our north and east, that does nothing for us. It's stalling out. And really, the high temperatures today will be hot here. I'd say we're close to 100 here in San Antonio, but we'll also see some big-time temperatures out west, places like Phoenix, Las Vegas, Palm Springs, also dealing with some big-time heat. They got heat advisories in place out there. So it's not just us. It's that high pressure that really is taking over the forecast, and it does move around a little bit. It starts to shift over top of us this weekend, giving us some very, very hot temperatures, and then moves east as we head into the middle part of next week. That drives in a little bit more humidity, deeper moisture, which could translate into a shower or two. Nothing significant, but it will give us those higher humidity levels in the afternoon, which means we're going to have to really worry about the heat index, I think, next week. In the meantime, 99 degrees at 3 o'clock. We're up around 100, at least that's what we're forecasting for now. If these clouds stick around a little longer, maybe just below that mark. 99, 6 o'clock, 98, 7 p.m., and then into the 80s tonight. The extended forecast tomorrow, 102. The weekend, brutal. 104 Saturday, 104 Sunday. We're still in the triple digits Monday, maybe quote unquote a little cooler by the middle part of next week.
Only 100.
Only. Sounds good.
Only 100. Thanks, Justin.
Coming up in a couple of minutes, more trouble for Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans. And Baker Mayfield needs surgery, and that might cause another problem for the Cleveland Browns. NBA Finals in Boston, Game 3 last night. Hear how big Game 3s are. 39 times teams have split the first two games of the finals. The winner of Game 3 has gone on to win the series 82% of the time. Boston's quick lead. Former Derek White Spur pump fakes and hits the three. Yeah, got to like that. Then the ball moving. Al Horford to White. Back to Horford for the slam. You saw that a second ago. Boston up 15. Celtics pushing the pace. That was Marcus Smart. Brown with 17 points in the first quarter. Second quarter, Boston builds the lead to 18. Warriors get a couple of three-pointers from Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. That's part of a 10-0 run. White puts an end to their run when he gets in the lane for that bucket. Boston up 68-56 at halftime. Third quarter, Steph Curry comes alive. Curry for three, plus the foul. It's a 5-point game. Curry again for another three. And the Warriors take the lead, 83-82 on a 12-0 run. Jason Tatum attacking the lane, puts it up and in. Boston with a 4-point lead now going into the fourth. With Curry in foul trouble, Tatum going right at him to get to the rim, and Boston's up 11, Tatum 26. This is the scary play of the night and could be an impact tomorrow night's game. It's a loose ball scramble. Horford falls right on Curry's left leg. Curry stayed in the game, but you could tell he was in pain, limping a little bit. Boston cruises after that. Celtics 3 players with 24 points or more, and they take game 3, 116-100. All right, so your finals looks like this. Nothing tonight. Tomorrow night, it is back at it in Boston, 8 o'clock tip time, live right here on KSAT 12. Once again, series led by the Celtics 2-1.
Pro football coverage powered by Davis Law Firm.
The Houston Texans will now be added to the 24 civil lawsuits filed against former Texas quarterback Deshaun Watson by women who accused the now Cleveland Brown quarterback of sexual assault and misconduct during massages. This follows an investigation by the New York Times that reveals the team provided Watson with a membership to the Houstonian and exclusive hotel and resort where some of the massages occurred, and non-disclosure agreements to Watson after one of the women threatened to expose Watson's behavior on Instagram back in November of 2020. As it turns out, according to the Times, it was the team's director of security that left the NDAs in Watson's locker, even though the Texans claimed the first time they learned of any problems with Watson was in March of 2021 after the first civil lawsuit was filed. The investigation also found that Watson booked massages with as many as 66 women over a period of 17 months between the fall of 2019 and the spring of 2021. So here's just part of what attorney Tony Busby released in his statement. Based on what we have learned from the Houston Police Department, we will soon be joining the Houston Texans organization and others as defendants in the ongoing lawsuits against Deshaun Watson. We believe the Texans organization was well aware of Watson's issues, but failed to act. They knew, or certainly should have known, the Houston Texans organization provided rooms for Watson in the high end of the Houstonian hotel for his massages. The Texans also provided massage tables and other support for Watson's proclivities, ostensibly to protect their assets. Meantime, Baker Mayfield has been excused from the Cleveland Browns' mandatory minicamp next week. The Browns quarterback is guaranteed $19 million to play this coming season, but he is in Austin right now recovering from offseason surgery to repair a torn labrum in his non-throwing shoulder. It is unclear right now what the Browns' plan is if the NFL issues punishment that would suspend Watson for the coming season, if not more, based on what the league's investigation have discovered.
A local business owner warning other businesses after he was broken into. His message in the next half hour.
The House Select Committee investigating the deadly January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol will reveal never-before-seen video and tape tonight. We've got the latest for you coming up.
And new today at 5, important information for parents. If you have little babies, you know what it's like to try to get an infant to fall asleep. It is tempting to use products marketed for infant sleep. Well, a new law is going into effect this month that bans certain popular products because their designs are considered dangerous for babies. 12 on your side's Marilyn Morris with a closer look at what's banned, what's not, and what safety experts say is best. It's today at 5 after Entertainment Tonight. We have an update to a story that we brought you earlier this month. The medical examiner's office now identifying a man killed in a South Side car crash. Authorities say that Kevin Meyer died after a truck slammed into his motorcycle. The crash happened on Probant and West Mitchell Street. Police say this truck made a left turn onto Mitchell Street, hitting Meyer as he passed through the intersection. Investigators say charges are not likely to be filed against the driver of that truck. A candlelight vigil is planned for tonight at 7 o'clock to remember him. It's happening at the crash site on Probant and West Mitchell.
And a crime alert this noon. The owner of a popular area barbecue place is hoping to fight crime with the help of other business owners after his restaurant is hit by thieves looking for the safe. This comes after another restaurant is also targeted. The owner of the Blanco Barbecue on Northside showed us video from inside his restaurant. He says the thieves were in and out in just 7 minutes, and police showed up 4 minutes too late to catch them. The thieves went directly for the safe that was not bolted to the ground, but the owner says it is now.
You feel violated. We have almost 50 people working here. We want to catch them.
The video shows two men with their faces covered putting the safe into the back of a Kia, and it looks like it might be a hatchback. The owner says he needs our viewers to help identify these suspects.
It's a high-stakes hearing tonight in prime time. The House Select Committee investigating the deadly January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol will reveal never-before-seen video and taped testimony, including from Donald Trump's own family members.
The committee says it is and has substantial new evidence to show the American people of how our democracy was on the brink of disaster. ABC's M. Nguyen has the details from Capitol Hill.
Explosive, never-before-seen video. That's the promise made by the House Select Committee investigating the deadly January 6th attack on the Capitol. Tonight in prime time, the committee hoping to document the horrors of that day and attempt to prove their claim that former President Donald Trump did nothing to stop it. Instead, they allege laying the groundwork for the attack for months, repeatedly spreading lies that the 2020 presidential election was stolen from him. Vice Chair on the committee, Republican Representative Liz Cheney speaking to CBS.
People must pay attention. People must watch, and they must understand how easily our democratic system can unravel.
The committee set to reveal taped testimony with Trump administration officials, as well as Trump's family, including his daughter Ivanka Trump and son-in-law Jared Kushner.
Ivanka Trump, I'm told, is quite candid about the fact that she that she told her father that he needed to do something to get out there to stop the riot.
Also coming before the committee, documentary filmmaker Nick Quested, who was embedded with the Proud Boys before and during the Capitol riot. Also under scrutiny tonight, Trump's tweets before, during, and after the insurrection, like this one saying, "Go home with love and peace. Remember this day forever." House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy attacking the findings before they've even been presented.
It is the most political and least legitimate committee in American history.
This is the first hearing of 6 where the Select Committee will be presenting its findings. The hearings are expected to wrap up at the end of the month. M. Nguyen, ABC News on Capitol Hill.
We want to take a look outside with live cam. Check it out. Those are called clouds. And sometimes when we have them, it does not get as hot as it did yesterday.
What kind of clouds are those, Justin?
Just some fair weather cumulus clouds. Nothing to worry about, but glad they're there. You know, this is what happens when it's been this hot. We get excited about a few clouds, but we have to because, yes, it does bring the temperature down maybe a degree. Maybe we don't get to 100 this afternoon. Yesterday we did. Got up to 101 here in San Antonio, tied a record. Austin, Houston also tied some records, and El Paso surpassing their record high with 106 yesterday. It was hot across especially the southern half of Texas. It was cooler up in the Texas Panhandle. We're not going to feel any of that cool weather. Temperatures right now 88 degrees at the airport, 87 in New Braunfels, 91 already in Carrizo Springs, Cotulla, which is a spot we know will get very hot this afternoon, sitting at 93. 85 Canyon Lake, 89 in Comfort, 90 out in Hondo at this hour. And the heat index, that's what it feels like. 101 is the feels like number down in Pleasanton, feels like 92 here in town, anywhere from 92 to 95. So it's still toasty. Don't get me wrong. And I still think temperatures today make it up close to 100 this afternoon. Heat index will make it feel a little bit warmer than that. And after today, we're going to start to see those temperatures rise again with some near record highs possible over the weekend. That forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
Still ahead, concert goers in the northern part of the U.S. had a night they won't soon forget, and it's not a good thing. The concert they were attended ruined by this.
But first, the price of just about everything you're buying these days is pretty high, even ingredients to make pasta. We'll take you to a tomato farm in Italy for a look at these struggles that they're facing over there.
Hello everyone, this is your daily news briefing from Cheddar News.
Harvey Weinstein is now facing 2 indecent assault charges in the UK. He's being accused by the UK's Crown Prosecution Service of assaulting a woman multiple times between July 31st and August 31st in 1996. The former film producer currently serving a 23-year prison sentence. That after he was convicted in New York in 2020 of sex charges against 2 other women. Meanwhile, after months of anticipation, new landmark crypto legislation finally here. The bill will cover a huge swath of the digital asset space, from stablecoins to tokens. And it aims to create a regulatory framework for digital assets as well. And Thailand is now the first Asian country to decriminalize cannabis. Residents can now grow and trade hemp products and use it for medicinal purposes as well. Restaurants can also serve cannabis-infused products, but that's only if THC levels fall below the official threshold. And that's your Cheddar News Update. I'm Vic Machado, coming to you from Cheddar Studios in Lower Manhattan.
A third flight carrying tons of baby formula landed in Texas this morning. It is part of Operation Fly Formula. The cans came all the way from Germany. Over 110,000 pounds of Nestle Supreme Pro infant formula. According to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, the cans will be available across the country.
The next phase of food delivery expanding. If you live in Texas, but you're craving a New York bagel or maybe some crawfish in Louisiana, you're in luck. Uber Eats now offering nationwide shipping. You can only order from 3 cities right now, though: New York, Miami, and Los Angeles. But Uber Eats says they want to add more cities soon, and deliveries are going to be made quickly through FedEx.
New Orleans, then.
Well, they need to add New Orleans because I would rather order from there than Miami.
Well, speaking of ordering, it's lunchtime, and a lot of you might be eating pasta. It's a simple dish to make, but the price of key ingredients, not so simple anymore.
CNN's Barbie Lazza-Nadeau visits pasta factory and a farm that's growing tomatoes to see the hard choices that these business owners are having to make.
Signora, buonasera. Spaghetti al pomodoro.
Grazie.
Prego.
This is the quintessential Italian meal, spaghetti with tomato. But the price of this Italian staple has increased tremendously over the last year.
To understand why the cost to produce pasta from durum wheat and tomato sauce from fresh tomatoes has gone up, we went directly to the source. Here at the Maestri Pastai pasta factory in southern Italy, owner Valentina Castiello tells us the price of some of the raw materials to make her pasta have jumped by 100%. She tells us her company is trying to find ways to absorb the excess, but some of it will go to the consumer.
We have increased the price of our final product by 30%. The cost is high, but the consumer continues to buy the affordable products that everyone can use at home.
The average Italian eats around 50 pounds of pasta every year. Castiello says to confront the rising cost of living, distributors are actually buying more inventory from her factory. Because even if the price of pasta goes up, it is still by far the most affordable way for many Italians to put food on the table. The rising costs range from packaging to electricity to fuel to transport these goods. But it isn't just pasta makers struggling to produce economical food. At this tomato farm near Rome that Dalila Marasca owns with her father and brother, things aren't much easier. She tells us that fertilizer costs alone have risen 150% over last year. They had to make a drastic decision to reduce the number of tomatoes they planted by 40% because they have no idea what the market will be like when these new tomato plants are ready to harvest. Marasca says the tomato is the base of the Italian diet, during the summer as fresh produce and during the other seasons as canned products. The factors driving the prices of these fundamental Italian ingredients are complicated. First came the pandemic, then Russia's war in Ukraine, and now the uncertainty of what's next.
Barbie Lazza-Nadeau, CNN, Rome.
Okay, if you weren't hungry before.
Look good. Maybe expensive, but it looked good.
It looked great.
You can't go wrong with pasta. It's a staple.
That's right.
We've got a couple clouds out there at the moment, partly cloudy skies, which is nice to see. Temperatures have made their way up to close to 90 now, officially at the airport, though, still 88 degrees. Low this morning was 76. We will be above average again today. The record is 104. I don't think we get there, so we're not breaking any records this afternoon. That was set back in 1910. But a lot of heat headed our way this weekend. Plus, we got to talk about that Saharan dust. When will it arrive? That forecast coming up.
Singer Halsey's concert was canceled on Wednesday night in Maryland due to technical difficulties related to the weather. In videos recorded by concert goers, rainwater was seen streaming down onto the covered outdoor venue and then flooding the concrete floor below.
The concert was delayed several times throughout the night before finally being canceled completely.
I know I shouldn't say this, but it almost looked like chocolate milk. It was kind of.
I was almost kind of jealous just seeing the rain.
That too. That too.
I know it's not fun for the concert goers, but we would gladly take some.
We'll
of that
take
rain.
that rain.
Yeah, we would. There's still not much in the forecast, and so let's switch subjects a little bit and talk about countdown. Listen, Stephanie got mad at me at 9 o'clock because Halloween wasn't in there, but you know we just picked some at random here. Summer begins in 12 days officially. 4th of July is in 25 days. You're curious, Labor Day is 88 days away, and for those ready for Thanksgiving, 168 days away.
It'll be cooler then.
It will. That's what I'm thinking. Think cool thoughts. Yeah, we're getting there. We gotta get through summer. Well, we're not even there yet, right? So we've got to get through the next several months. Let's talk about the Saharan dust, something we deal with every summer. It is starting to make its way across the Atlantic and the Caribbean. This is the where we're seeing it right now, across much of the Caribbean, in fact. But as we put this into motion and go forward here, this will eventually work its way into the Gulf of Mexico, and we think up into Texas as we get into next week. It'll provide a little bit of haze in the atmosphere, and perhaps you'll notice it a little bit more as we get closer to next week. So there you go. This is Sunday. It's right on the edge of the San Antonio area, and then by Monday, starting to thicken up a little bit. We could see some pretty decent concentration of it Tuesday into Wednesday. What does that mean? Well, again, just a little bit of a haze in the atmosphere, some nice sunsets and sunrises. And for folks who are sensitive to it, you may notice it. And we'll probably get a few more bouts of that Saharan dust throughout the summer. Outside right now, partly cloudy skies and temperatures sitting at 88 degrees at the airport, 90 Stinson, 89 Kelly, 86 at Randolph. And we're already up to 95 in Pleasanton. The heat index there already above 100. 89 in Uvalde, 86 Rock Springs. You're at 87 out in Del Rio. Most places around Bexar County, as it has been all week long, near 90 degrees, although just a degree or two cooler than we have been last couple days. So that does help, and dew points right around 70. So we are dealing with the heat index. The forecast temperature this afternoon up around 100 here in town. 96 Fair Oaks Ranch, 101 in Castroville, 101 in Devine, 102 in Pearsall today, one of the hot spots on our forecast map. As we look at the cloud cover, it's been off and on. We had some thicker clouds earlier. These are really starting to thin out some, and most of Texas is dry, minus a few showers as you get out towards El Paso. Maybe a few showers along a very weak frontal boundary, but that's moving away from us. And we mentioned earlier that the heat is not only here, but there's going to be quite a bit of record high temperatures, I think, as you get out west. Phoenix, Las Vegas, Palm Springs, all dealing with some forecast highs well above 100 today, and that's due to that ridge of high pressure, which is still controlling our weather. It moves around a little bit. In fact, it's over top of us this weekend. That really pumps up the temperatures, and then by next week it moves east, drawing in more humidity, but still keeping us very toasty, and that goes for really much of next week. If you're headed to the beach this weekend, it looks great. It'll be hot. Be a good time to be down there. The water temperature's closing in on 90. Air temperature will be somewhere in the mid-90s. Bays will be choppy, seas anywhere from 3 to 4 feet. Your extended forecast, 102 Friday, 104 Saturday, 104 Sunday. More triple digits next week, although the heat tries to subside just a little bit by the middle part of next week. We'll be right back.
High school baseball playoffs is taking to Dell Diamond, Round Rock, UIL Class 1A State Baseball Championship. Hannah's taking on Nazareth, top of the fifth. Cowboys up 1-0. Runner on third, Dalen Gonzalez. That's a base hit to right. Kobe Fortner scores 2-0 to Hannah's. The inning continues. This time it's Rain Redden. And he's going to drive in a run right up the middle of that hit. Gonzalez rounds third, and here he comes. He's going to score. That's part of a 3-run inning for the Cowboys. They lead 4-0 after 5. And yes, that is all they needed. D'Hanis wins the Class 1A state title.
So excited, so happy. I'm happy for my team, happy for myself, everybody. It's awesome.
It's the most amazing thing ever. I've dreamed of this for so long, and I'm just so happy to be MVP with all this. 3 years ago, I watched a video of Alex Majors pitch here and win it for D'Hanis, and I said, I want to do that and get that last strikeout, and I did that, and it feels amazing.
So that means the boys win the state championship. Remember,
and the girls
won the state championship. O'Connor won the state championship for the girls softball team. Now, sorry, Reagan, but you got a little pressure on you.
It's almost like almost everyone gets a trophy.
Yeah, that's nice. I like those. Bring them home.
All right. We're going to head over to Market Square now.
Ooh,
Hey,
wait, you see
Mike.
what I'm making today? Some delicious crepes with sweet Paris, and Luciano Espinoza is here. All right, just spread the batter out nice and thin, right?
Exactly.
And you can do crepes either sweet or savory, but it all depends on what you wash them down with. What do you got over there? All those mimosas?
We have these mimosas right here. You can pair a mimosa with any kind of crepe that you have. We have sweet breakfast crepes also. We have different flavors of mimosas. We have lavender, raspberry, passion fruit.
We're going to taste them all, and oh, wait till you see some of the crepes that they have over there at Sweet Paris. All right, once again, Fiona is at summer camp. What's going on?
Well, today we are at a camp where kids are learning to cook and speak in one of 4 languages. We are checking out the Spanish immersion cooking camp here at the International School of San Antonio.
All right, after camp and after crepes, how about something nice and cool? Ice cream. We're not talking any just Kona ice cream. We've got some agua frescas, we've got some acai, and then cocktails for the grown-ups. All that and more on SA Live.
We're starting to see temperatures creep into the 90s now. 100 degrees, the forecast high, with 102 tomorrow, 104 Saturday, 104 Sunday. Hottest temperatures over the weekend, and then maybe slightly quote-unquote cooler next week with some added humidity. Still, rain, unfortunately, staying out of the forecast.
Unfortunately. Thank you, though.
Mike's got it all figured out today. He's got crepes, he's got ice cream, adult beverages.
He's got the best job in the business.
And Fiona's like not even there.
I hope he knows how lucky he is.
Yeah, I think so. Well, here he is. SA Live starts right
now.
Mama didn't raise no dummy, I'll tell you that. Today on SA Live, we feature another summer camp for kids where they learn to speak in one of 4 languages. We check out one of the summer cooking camps at the International School of San Antonio. Plus, it's a Thirsty Thursday. Cocktails from a new bar and lounge coming to the Alamo City. And oh, it's so hot outside this week that we are all screaming for ice cream, and we have just the place to cool you off this summer.
Celebrate San Antonio. Coming to you live from historic Market Square. This is SA Live.
I'm Mario Moreno Music, and you're watching SA Live.
Hello and happy Thursday, everybody. Well, of course, that was Mario Moreno Music, and they're going to be pouring an original song for us just a little bit later on in the show. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mike Osterhage. Well, once again, Fiona is out at summer camp. How you doing out there, Fiona?
Hi. All right. Yes, we are here at a summer camp at the International School of San Antonio. But you know, it is summer, so that means summer blockbusters are happening, and Jurassic Park Dominion, of course, the big movie this weekend. So that got us thinking, what's your favorite dinosaur movie or TV series? Mike?
I would have to say either 10,000 Years BC, back in the 60s, or I'm gonna go way off the charts and go Godzilla. The original Godzilla movies, those were fantastic. What about you?
Okay, well, I kind of expected that. That's your era, okay? But I mean, I know you've been an actor and a model in the past, and you know, you were an extra in kind of, you know, several TV shows. But you know, what I didn't know is that you were an extra in Jurassic World Dominion. Now, it's really fast. In fact, we had to slow it down frame by frame to really see it. And there it is. Now again, folks, I mean, when you go see this movie, it's quick. It's so quick you're probably not even going to see it. But thanks to technology and Ted and Photoshop, we happened to make sure we got it, okay? But you know, I really thought, as far as your movies, you're maybe going to pick up
there's more.
Another favorite from your era, like say Land of the Lost.
Yes. I used to watch that all the time on Saturdays.
Okay.
Land of the Lost, yes. Okay, and there's
see,
is
and
it
it's
you and
not
John?
just you in this photo.
Oh, there's
it's
Jen.
It's me, Jen, John is in there too. See, so it's not just you that we play with Photoshop with, okay? Then, you know, we were checking out Instagram and we saw a photo that Adam Caskey tagged you in, and I don't even know if you know about it because you would have to know how to use Instagram, but this is it.
You know what amazes me is
Okay.
you and Ted are out there doing these live shots, but he has so much time to play with Photoshop this week. So, yeah, anyway.
Oh,
okay.
well, we make time for very important things, Mike.
Yes.
Very important thing when we're there in the think tank and you're not there.
Anyway, back to our serious question.
No, yes.
What's your favorite dinosaur movie, TV show, Photoshopped picture, anything like that? Hopefully we get your answers a little bit later on in the show. We're going to be talking to you a little bit later on in the show because Fiona's going to be doing some cooking out there, and we are going to be cooking as well right now because summer brunch season is here and helping us get our taste buds ready for it. Sweet Paris Creperie and Luciano Espinosa, manager at the Shop de la Cantera location, is joining us now. Good afternoon, sir.
Hello, how are you?
First question. This is the one that I made in the 1250 teas. How'd I do?
Great. You're a great student, actually.
Thank you very much. Okay, and once again, a crepe is just a thin pancake, basically, right?
Basically, exactly.
Okay.
You just spread the batter on the crepe maker, and then voila, you can get a nice crepe.
Now,
and remember, the good thing about crepes is that you can actually throw in whatever ingredient you have handy at home. You can do savory, you can do sweet, you can do breakfast.
And that's what you have out there. Now, if somebody's making these at home, what's the trick to it? If you don't obviously have this one-function crepe maker.
As long as you have the right ingredients, you know, the eggs, the flour, well beaten and all of that, you'll be good to go to make a nice crepe.
And I think most people think of savory crepes sweet crepes, and one of the classics to do is some Nutella on here, and that's one of your great dishes at your place, right?
Exactly. The Nutella crepe, that is the old traditional and signature crepe that we have.
And it's Nutella, and then what else is in there?
We have strawberries and bananas in there. And then to garnish, we have powdered sugar, whipped cream on the side, and a drizzle of chocolate on top.
Okay, now comes the fun part as I'm trying to decorate this.
You just spread the Nutella there.
All right, so put it on a corner, let it kind of get heated up a little bit, and then we start to spread. And this is fun because this thing is really,
There you go, you're gonna make a great crepe maker now.
Yeah, I think so, if I can get that thing, because this is really hot, so, okay. And now the whole trick to enjoying a great, see, I get nervous on TV here, a great crepe is what you wash it down with, and that's what you're really promoting out there at Sweet Paris, right?
Right.
The mimosas.
Right, summertime is here, so the best way to, you know, enjoy it is when you have brunch with friends and family. You can always do mimosas, you can pair them with a sweet crepe, a savory crepe, or a breakfast crepe.
What flavors you got going over there?
We have the traditional orange juice, we have lavender, we have raspberry, and we have passion fruit.
So which would go with this one?
I would say the raspberry one. It's great to enjoy with a Nutella crepe. Okay. And we're gonna go ahead and plate it.
There we go. Haha.
All right.
I'm 2 for 2 now. Yay! And then you got to decorate a little bit, right?
We're gonna garnish this crepe with a little bit of chocolate drizzle on top, powdered sugar, and some whipped cream on the side
of course,
right here.
a little bit of mint. All right,
exactly.
So while you are doing that, and describe the other savory crepes that we have going on.
Yeah,
right
this
there.
one
What's
we
the
have
in the
here
middle?
is the Alaskan crepe. It's a nice breakfast crepe. You get the smoked salmon in there, scrambled eggs, a little bit of dill sour cream, and lemon juice. It's a really great crepe. And also this one here is the Canadian, where you get the bacon, potatoes, scrambled eggs, and maple syrup. It's a great combination.
It's a big, hearty breakfast brunch, but if you put it in a crepe, it just doesn't seem like it's that heavy of a meal for some reason.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then again, with the nice mimosa, you can pair it, and voila. This one I'm making here is the lavender one.
And this goes with the The nice sweet. So, okay. And
Exactly.
you were out there, again, at the shops at La Cantera.
The shops at La Cantera, exactly.
Where exactly and what other big store?
We're right across from Grimaldi's Pizza in La Cantera.
Oh, Jen Strusky, if you're watching right now, that
Cheers.
lavender mimosa you would absolutely love because she loves her lavender. And it is brunch every day.
Exactly. Anytime.
Okay. If you'd like more information on Sweet Creperie Cafe, head over to SALive.com, click on the As Seen on SA Live tab, where we provide a link, or you can scan that QR code right there at the corner of your screen. Luciano, thank you very much. Good seeing you, sir.
Thank you so much for having me.
Taste that crepe. I think I did a pretty good job with it. So, all right, from French brunch recipes to a Spanish immersion summer cooking camp, kids meet, eat, greet, and learn in a new language through an entire school day. And Fiona Gorostiza is out there at the International School of San Antonio, where she's checking out some of the summer camp projects and food. What's going on, Fiona?
Hola! Yes, we are here at the International School of San Antonio, where your kids can learn to cook in one of 4 languages: Spanish, French, Russian, and Mandarin Chinese. Now, we are here at the Spanish Immersion Cooking Camp, and joining me right now is Spanish camp teacher Pilar Winter.
Hola, hola!
Hola! Okay, these kids look like they're having so much fun. What are they making today?
They are wonderful. Today they are making empanadillas españolas. We make a savory kind with ham and cheese, and then we're making a sweet kind with apples and cinnamon.
All right, and how old are the kids in this class?
Well, between
right now?
5 and 7.
Okay, and so
6 and 8 and 8, yes, and 8, yeah. They're growing.
We're hoping you because you're forgetting our number.
Yeah. See, they're going to make sure we get this right, so I'm going to try and be on point right now.
For sure.
Right. So tell me what they're doing right now, and of course how cooking can help the the language learning.
Okay.
The language learning process.
Mia is helping in the lunch. She's cutting the ham. Emma, she likes la tortillera. She está aplastando la tortilla.
I'm doing so much right now.
Yes. Then
does that help relieve stress? Because that's good right there for you.
It helps release everything. Then we have Emilio. Okay, he's rolling out las empanadillas so they can be thin. So Nathan can fill them up. Look at that. He's filling them up with ham and cheese, and they're right over there.
Okay.
And after they fill up, we're gonna fry them up and eat them.
And of course, cooking and language, that's where the connection is made. Show me an example of how they learn in this immersion class.
Okay, in this immersion class, our brain is a great matchmaker, so we connect things that we know with things that we don't know. And La Mosca Busca is a great game for that, right? Vamos a ver, la mosca busca los huevos. ¿Dónde están los huevos? Muy bien. Ahora, la mosca busca el limón. ¿Dónde está el limón? Limón. Muy bien. Y la mosca busca la sal. Muy bien. Fantástico.
Thank you so much, Ms. Pilar. So while they continue to learn and continue to cook there with their delicious empanadas, I'm going to go ahead and talk with head of school Mayfield, who's going to fill you in on the fact that this is just one example of the summer camps here, right?
Yes. So we have cooking camps, which are one of our most popular summer programs, and we have that in each of the major languages that we offer. So we have this Spanish cooking camp with Pilar, who brings to the table her wonderful Spanish dishes, and also she incorporates some local favorites. And then we also have next week our French cooking camp, and we will also have a Chinese cooking camp.
Okay, and it's not just the summer camps. There are Saturday classes too, and there are classes for the school year that folks can enroll in.
Right. So we are San Antonio's most comprehensive immersion language program. So during the school year, we have our preschool and kindergarten, and then this year we have our first class of first graders. So they'll be continuing their education in our immersion languages. And then on Saturdays, we have the classes for 3 to 10-year-olds, the 2-hour immersion classes.
And so for those who don't know quickly, what is language immersion?
That is a good question. So in language immersion, we're learning languages by learning other things, in this case cooking, but for our summer programs, we're also doing arts and crafts, sports, games, learning about culture, and of course during the school year with the school program, it's math, science, social studies, music, art, everything in that language. So you're learning language through something else.
And they start as young as?
3.
As young as 3 and no experience needed. And if parents want to enroll or they want to find out more information, where can they go?
So the best place is to visit our website, issatx.org, and we have an open house on June 25th.
Okay, so an open house on June 25th if you want more information. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, gracias, muchas gracias, I should say, to everyone in this class. All right, and of course, for more information on the International School of San Antonio and their summer camps, as well as their upcoming school year, just head to our website, salive.com, and click on the As Seen on SA Live tab.
Those kids are adorable, Fiona. They are adorable. Thank you. And bring back whatever they're cooking. We'll have a snack. So, all right. Thank you, Fiona. All right. When SA Live continues with original music from an Alamo City musician, we get the details on this band's new music video release red carpet event. Plus, we're getting really fancy for this Thirsty Thursday. It's a first look and taste at San Antonio's new upscale bar.